Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Manny. Today, we will be discussing how to be a successful business analyst. This video is going to discuss specifically the mindset that you're going to need to be a business analyst, and also some of the tools and the techniques and the practice that you have to put in order to become a successful business analyst. So if you're looking to pursue a career in business analytics, data science, data analytics, this is the video for you. And this is strictly from a perspective of someone that is just starting. So go ahead and watch the whole video. I hope that all of the information that I share will be super useful for your career. A little bit of my personal background. I've been specifically in utility analytics for close to 12 years at this point. I do work for a large firm, managing data science teams through complex business problems. So definitely I will be giving you the perspective from a management side of what it takes to be a successful business analyst. So tune in if you want to know the ins and outs. So let's start off with the first step. If you are considering to be a business analyst, you want to make sure that problem solving is something that you're truly passionate about. And I know that sounds super basic, but the business analyst is always sought out for answers, not just to analyze things, but also to provide directional guidance. So having a foundation on how basic business work, how the intricacies of organizations work, that's going to be super key to be a successful business analyst. Remember, they're not hiring a computer. They're hiring a human being that can look at the data and say, hey, this is XYZ based on your business. This is what I recommend, the direction that you take. So key thing, remember, business analysts, it is not just a living Excel. It is, they're using Excel, they're using other programs, right? But in reality, the answer and the direction of the analysis is the most important part. Just got an alert. So, and on that same note, when you're solving, when you're looking to provide an answer, always solve the problem and start with the problem as opposed to the formula. Oftentimes, when we learn a lot of these advanced analytic techniques, we want to apply it. We want to put it out there in the real world. But in actuality, a lot of business problems may not require, all the time, some sort of regression analysis or something more complex from a statistical standpoint. So you want to make sure that you're always solving the problem, right? Apply the proper formula for that problem. Don't start with the formula, start with the problem, solve the problem, and then provide the results. And then another thing, when you're starting off, you really want to focus and master the basics. What do I mean by the basics? So data analytics has definitely advanced over the years, right? But if you're just starting, you will not get too far if you don't focus on those tools that have been in existence for decades. Number one being Microsoft Excel, calculators, statistical terms, all of those things you really want to make sure that you focus on, especially at the beginning of your career, because that's going to be the foundation of your entire career. So make sure that you're looking at YouTube videos on how to do certain formulas in Excel. Really learn Excel inside and out, because a lot of the analytics programs, for instance, some of the visualization tools like Power BI, some of the more advanced data science tools like Databricks and others really come from a foundation of Excel, believe it or not, right? That grid style data structure really translates to more of the advanced relational databases and things like that. So you really want to make sure that you're really learning Excel and other fundamental tools in order to be a successful business analyst. So focus on the basics. Now, once you're actually at the job, right? Don't have an attitude of, okay, my answer is the final answer because I ran some numbers, right? Be humble in the sense of that you may be wrong, right? Even if the data points, to a certain direction, there's so many different factors, especially in business analytics, that may affect that particular result, right? So one big one is integrity of data, how the data is being submitted into either the database or to the Excel or wherever your repository of data is. What is the purging cycle of that data? So many different factors, right? So you always want to verify and validate your findings with the business stakeholders, right? Understand this. As a business analyst, especially when you're starting, you will not have all of the answers, and you certainly won't know the business better than the business stakeholders, right? Everyone has an innate ability to analyze and to find trends, right? And everyone can kind of detect that. Even if you're not running numbers, you know the general direction of businesses, right? Especially if you're in the industry, even though you're not a business analyst, you know what looks right and what looks wrong on paper, right? So you always want to validate your findings and be humble in the sense of that whatever you come up with may not be correct. And chances are 50-50 chance it may be correct. Other times you may need to add additional parameters, right, to make it correct. So be humble in your approach. And on the same note, ask for feedback. You always want to have that feedback loop, right? Present the findings, get feedback, validate it, right? If you need to correct your calculations, go ahead and correct it, then represent your findings. If you need to correct it, go ahead and correct it and then represent it. So that's super important, right? And the reason why I mention that oftentimes as data analysts, right, or data scientists, we tend to think, well, 2 + 2 is 4, right? And, the math is saying this. Yes, that may be the case, and there may be nothing wrong with the data, but you have to also take into consideration that data is essentially just one aspect of the insight. Data is just the recordable part of that insight. There's also nuance to that data. How is that data being generated? How is the business run? How are your data sets being updated, right? Are they labeled correctly? All of that. So that's why you have to approach this as data is just one part of the insight. You really have to look at the full picture. And the only way you're going to get that picture is by constant feedback from the business stakeholders. And then at the end, question your assumptions, right? So that's all part of the feedback loop. Question your assumptions, share your assumptions as much as possible. Get feedback from other data analysts if you can, if you're working in a team, but also get feedback from the business stakeholders. And that's how you can then, with consensus of, if what you're looking at is correct, then those assumptions are then validated. So that's kind of like the mindset that you have to approach business analytics. Now, when it comes to the actual programs and the software, we've already mentioned Excel, right? You always want to dedicate at least, especially starting, 15 to 30 minutes a day at least on learning new things, not just about Excel, but also as you start getting more advanced, you want to go into Access. Then you want to go into relational databases. Then you want to go into Databricks. Then you want to work with Power BI and Tableau and other visualization tools, and really continue to expand, right? Data is a moving industry. What you know now will be irrelevant tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you're constantly learning. So 15, 30 minutes should be enough in a day. Then you can probably scale it back to maybe like a 15-minute video of new features and things like that. Once you know a lot of these advanced programs, that's really the mindset that you have to approach business analytics. You should never feel as if you have completed your learning. You should always be learning new techniques, new methods, new statistical models. And that's really the essence of being a business analyst. So that's pretty much all of the information I have for today. I hope it was helpful. If you're a business analyst and you're looking to start and you want more guidance, feel free to reach out. I'm going to leave my Instagram below, but also you can send me an email. It's also going to be below, and add me on LinkedIn. My name in there is Emmanuel Gutierrez, and I'll put the link below as well. So go ahead and follow me. Please DM me if you have any questions. I'm always down to help. Any feedback that you want on your resume or anything in that sense. So go ahead and reach out. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. And remember to subscribe, click the like button. We're going to be posting a lot of data videos here. So stay tuned. Thank you.